Pseudoscience is like a thorn in my brain. Besides being potentially dangerous when people rely on alternative medicine instead of finding actual help, sometimes it just bothers me when somebody's wrong on the internet. So it was time to relax a bit about it. For this episode, Bart Gerten, my co-host, and I tried something new. On Sunday, July 7th, we went live on YouTube and played a game. We read pseudoscience stories to each other, trying to make the other guy laugh about it. And among the people who sent us their pseudoscience stories, we randomly chose a winner who got a t-shirt from our merchandise store. I hope you enjoy listening as much as we enjoyed playing the game. It was a relaxed way to figure out YouTube live streaming, and we are thinking about having a live episode every now and then to loosen things up. One thing we can improve on is the sound quality, which won't be quite what you are used to. My apologies. Please let us know what you think. As always, you will find more information about this episode in the show notes on our website, www.scienceforprogress.eu. This includes a link to the YouTube video. If you want to support our efforts, please check us out on Patreon. Patreon is a community service that enables you to support our work with a monthly pledge. And it enables us to give you some perks in return. If you like what my volunteers Bart Gerten and Susanne Lemburg and I are creating, please consider to contribute. You can learn everything about it on the Patreon website, www.patreon.com/sciforprogress. I am looking forward to meeting you in our monthly member meeting on Discord. And thanks to everyone who is already supporting us. It really helps a lot. I'm your host Dennis Eckmeier, and you are listening to episode 30 of the Science for Societal Progress podcast.
So, this is basically our Christmas session, isn't it?
Exactly.
At least somebody gets a present.
Yes, somebody will get a present. Did you get any emails?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a lot.
A lot?
You didn't?
I got 0, to be honest.
Oh no!
Yes.
Because I'm so charming on the camera.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
basically eye candy. I guess. Yeah.
It's your hair.
At least what I tell myself. And I think that's working directly.
Well, the main difference.
No way. I got some. A lot of people wrote me.
Okay.
So let's see. And on top of that, we could at least make this game more complicated by the other guy always trying to defend the pseudoscience. What about that?
Defend it?
Yeah, find some pseudo-logic that would actually make this work.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Man, I'm so gonna beat you at that.
Yeah, because I'm already laughing.
It's an amazing paper. It was sent to me by Robert Kossen, which is unfair because he's my student. Here we go. It's a very important paper to my observation. It's a bionic model for exchanging waves between water and DNA. The best part about it is the figures. The figures are really amazing. You can follow those figures by a tweet of Elizabeth Big, and there's the link to her, to that tweet. My personal favorite of the whole exchange is some of the tweets that Elizabeth found there. One of my favorites is, most of waters which are going out of body of women have different structures with respect to waters which are going out of the body of men. Thus we can assure that structures of most of these waters are different. This might not make exactly that much sense if you just take it by itself, but he backs this up with, if we measure the amount of repelled water by the body of a woman in normal condition and compare it with the repelled water in time of pregnant, we can guess the gender of the fetus. What obviously is here the case is that by just looking at how much people pee, you can, and especially pregnant women pee, you can find out if they are pregnant with a girl or a boy. How does this work? There is a very clear answer to that as well. There's a figure where you can see And figure 11, some, I would say, paintbrush painting of a water molecule looking like two hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom, and one is dark red, the other is more pinkish, and the more pinkish one is female. But the more important thing here actually is the wonderful, really wonderful graphic. Figure 11. You see that this is science, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, like, I mean, there's like a pink and a red water.
Right.
And as we all know, the two classical gender colors are pink and red.
The angles seem to be different. Is that what they want to go about, or is it just lazy?
I don't know.
design?
I think it's painted in paintbrush, so it doesn't make too much sense to argue about that. Are you convinced?
Absolutely. I mean, it makes total sense, you know? I mean, we know from homeopathy that what goes into the water stays in the water as a memory. So there must be a structural change in the water, obviously. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, come on. So I am super convinced. Are you laughing?
No. It's not. I think you're right. Like, homeopathy really did the trick here.
Right. So I mean, we all know there's quantum memory in water, right? So whatever you put into water and shake it 10 times, right? And that's probably what's happening in the women's bladder. You will have the memory in the water. Shit. Oh, God.
My point. Your turn. You tell me something.
I think I took the whole idea differently. So what I found were like funny comments on social media. Okay, so I'll just read it. It says, the frequencies of vaccine ingredients is a topic I don't think we've discussed here, and no wonder. It's new information as far as I can tell. Please read. It might go over your head if you're not used to healing with frequencies or understand the dangers of other frequencies, but worth the education.
Luckily,
time.
I'm a frequency healer, so I think I can understand what's going on.
Okay, good. Because otherwise you would be dumb, right? If you don't believe what's coming next.
Yeah, no, that's totally my guess.
Right, so, okay. So only Mother Nature has frequencies that come from the activity of lightning bolts in the electromagnetic spectrum, parentheses, which are caused by the whole of such resonance of unlimited energy in the infinite cosmos. End parentheses, have the power to reverse all the damages.
All the damages.
All of them. All the damages. They are custom made for every body, right down to the genome level. If we don't get
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I heard you laugh.
No, I didn't laugh. I coughed.
So, if we don't get their frequencies from outside in electrosmog-free zone, our mitochondrial DNA codes, the genomes, are still disrupted. Then their modified frequencies turn off between 97% to 98% of our nuclear DNA codes / genes, which portion is then called junk DNA. The one result is that we still die no matter which man-made combination of frequencies or which tiny portion of the other elements mixed together by man or not, we use instead to try to do the job. Besides all of the above, the Earth's spectrum was altered between 8,000 and 10,000 years ago, again by man-made means. So all of these elements everyone believes will somehow stop the damages aren't even pulsating in the frequencies originally to their infinite nature, which is both in all caps and quotation marks.
Makes sense. So you want to cite something that you really believe in.
Right. It's why they too end up falling apart in this man-made environment. This is why we have to unplug from the artificial spectrum and allow Mother Nature alone to fix all the damages. The good news is that this happens immediately when we all do it to get her. You understand? To get her? It's together, but written to hyphen get hyphen her. Because her frequencies of energy are quantum activity. There is no step-by-step process and its waiting period in the way they change everything. So what do you think?
I think that's perfectly reasonable. Like, we all know that in an infinite universe, there has to be some sort of infinite energy, because mass and energy are basically the same, as some quasi-German guy said sometime. So basically that's true. And the energy that is emitted by the rest of the universe is then concentrated on the Earth because of, I guess, the...
I feel you're struggling here.
No. I mean, that makes total sense. Like, the Earth is channeling all these energies.
I think you're laughing.
No. Junk DNA.
That's the best part.
The junk DNA.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
The worst part is actually defending that bullshit.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I had to.
My turn again.
Okay.
We are still back to water and its waves. And here comes something that everybody can read and I hope understand. There's some really 4 plus n dimensional water and waves on 4 11-dimensional manifolds. Also, a very interesting paper by Massimo Fioranelli. And again, it's about water and how it works. And I again want to point out the immense quality of the scientific figures here. It starts nicely in the second chapter with figure 1. I mean, this is water like it really looks like. It's brown, red, and green, and it has differently sized hydrogen atoms formed on oxygen atom. And there's some crazy math that nobody cares to read. It goes on to, like, my favorite waternet, and then you can directly go to figure 3, where you see how water and EM waves kind of interact. If you ever thought like one of your graphs was shitty, then now you know better. There's a lot about like different ion hulls, but the very important part, I want now to come to like the cherry on the cream of the pie of this wonderful episode in science, is, to my knowledge, figure 8. Chapter 5, transporting particles between two waters via extra dimensions. My friend. Figure 8, one of the most important questions as a biologist is, how do sperms actually enter the egg cell? And that's a complicated thing. There's lots of like pseudoscience evolving around different biochemical reactions, proteins, and nonsense like that.
True.
But it's very easy. The sperm teleports into the egg. And it's pretty damn easy if you then look again at the next figure, figure 9, where the water in the sperm is male, the water around the egg is female, and then you just use the extra dimensions to plop into the egg. Done. Nobel Prize. Here he comes. So, of course I heard you laugh already in my presentation of this perfect scientific thing.
Damn it.
Do you still want to defend it?
I mean, there's hardly anything to defend here. I mean, it's self-explanatory, obviously. I mean, he or they or whoever circumvent this whole problem of, two membranes combining and a sperm just going through the egg membrane into the internal parts of the egg by applying not even quantum tunneling, which would be the obvious answer, right? But instead interdimensional travel, which makes so much more sense. It's so much easier to travel.
Could you name one of the higher dimensions that are involved here?
Well, I mean, we know from string theory that there are at least 10, right? So that's proven physics, string theory.
And what we have to bear in mind that seemingly this proves much of the physics involved in here. I guess even string theory. No, I mean, like we know that now water is at least gave us an 11th dimension about its gender. How do actually these two genders form the dimensional tunnel?
Well,
yes,
I guess it's just in the nature. You know, you have the frequencies of the female and the male water combining.
Okay.
And
could you name the frequency?
Obviously, name the there was
could you name the frequency?
The male and the
what's
female
the frequency?
From the vibrations, you know,
of the egg,
right? And
like the motion in the ocean, not the size of the boat.
So when they combine, they form a tunnel through a different dimension, which could be the 5th to 10th dimension, I guess. How does that not make sense? I mean, this is obviously how it has to be.
Yeah, okay.
Simple penetration of membranes is just too simple.
Dimensions, you mean?
No. I mean the mainstream idea is vibrations and resonance. Okay.
Okay, I would say you're out of that one. Even so that you laughed while you saw this perfect figure of how the sperm enters the egg cell.
Well, the elaboration of that figure 8 is fantastic. So I laughed in joy.
And awe about the science. All right, what's your second take?
Okay. So this is somebody looking for help, and I think
he swallowed 2 ice cubes and he never saw them again, and now he needs a doctor's appointment.
No, that's not it.
Sorry.
So this is like part pseudoscience, part relationship advice.
Nice.
So I think you would have something to say on both accounts. Okay, so it's a conversation. It's a entry blog and then people responding to it. Hello, my husband is repulsed by my aged urine rub. He hates every single thing about it. Even with the essential oils, he says he still smells it all over me. Even to the point he doesn't want to touch me. Should I compromise by only drinking it and using it up the nose, ears, etc.? I have literally tried everything to get rid of the smell. He even says the jars look like dead waste. Please, I need some help here. Boom! Okay, the responses, right? Luckily, I only have myself to please, and I do just that.
Nice.
I can imagine that he might take offense, but it is your life and your choice. Difficult one. Next response. It's your decision, in the end, to give up the practice. If your marriage is more important to you, stop the practice. If not, then consider losing him. Just make sure he knows your decision. By the way, my apartment smells like pee, and although I've gotten used to it, the plumber has noted the smell. It takes a full day for the smell to go away.
What is the reason to do that?
Well, you tell me.
No, I mean, what is the reason why the husband is angry with his wife?
What do you mean?
No, I mean,
Because she
it's
smells like
perfectly
piss.
makes perfect. Please, but everybody doesn't everybody?
No, I'm pretty sure not. I mean, you see a lot of responses here where they say something like, I did aged urine massage for 40 minutes, and 1.5 hours later I went to work and no one said anything.
Yeah, because you smell like pee. Oh God, where did you find that?
So I want to know, do I even have to go on?
No, please not. Who comes up with that shit?
So, please, Dr. Gerton, could you explain to us the health benefits of aged urine rubs and compare it to fresh urine rubs, which I learned in this thread are also a thing?
I guess if you like to pee on people because you're just made this way and it's your sexual thing, it's not too bad, I guess. On top of that, there's stuff in urine that left the body because it depends. Like if you're, let's say, you have a skin condition and you're female, so you repel male water, as we learned from my last stint to science, then the male water that is expelled by a male actually rubs over your female skin condition and gets rid of all your female cells there because it extra repels female cells.
Oh, so you're also suggesting you should use the pee of other people and not your own.
Yeah. So I mean, if you for full efficiency in the aged urine thing, you might need the pee of another person.
Yeah.
Even better if you take it from like a male cow, bull, so to speak. I heard this is a thing in zoology, taxation to the different genders of mammalians, different names. So you take bull pee as a female, then and you can basically you get a lot of more done in a very quick time. Like they pee a lot, get very pee. So and then you can use that for drenching yourself in that and use it in your ears and nose,
etc.
which helps a lot. I said.
Okay, I got it. We both laughed. Is anybody keeping track? Actually, I don't.
It's
know.
1 point for you, 1 point for me.
Okay.
And we laugh about this one. That's hilarious.
So, what's your next?
My next is next one was sent to me by the fMRI guy.
Oh.
Yeah, I got all the science stars in my newsletter. Yo, Bart, I thought I'd seen you. I sent you a pseudoscience story for your YouTube battle against Dennis. See, totally Team Bart.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was walking for chronic pain patients, one of them told me he tried everything and anything. I asked him for examples. He said that one guy jumped around him yelling, "Booga booga!" Another one charged money for dreaming about the patient and said that would alleviate his pain. Defend that.
Well, we all know that attendance can alleviate pain. That's actually not pseudoscience at all. I think this is just a really interesting case of how shamanic practices, for example, use the placebo effect.
No. The placebo effect is in everything. You can't take that.
No, that absolutely
also, you
works.
could be sued by people who dream about other people to alleviate their pain because you now claim it's nothing more than a placebo effect. And I won't get started on the big Booga Booga pharmacy development plant that actually is going to sue you for that as well.
Well, I would not call this like an alternative to medicine. I would call it complementary. You know, you could take some pills, but also have people jump around you shouting "Booga Booga." I think that is absolutely reasonable. It would absolutely work. And it would help the healing process as a complementary practice, of course, not as an alternative to actual medicine.
You mean basically like Dr. Korthoff in my other business stint where we plan to sell homeopathic anabolica?
I don't think that's the same thing, but it probably works the
But I
same
think like
amount.
if you think about it, it makes total sense. Like homeopathy and anabolica are match made in heaven because anabolica you can't take because it's illegal, but you could take homeopathic anabolica. So if you sell them, nobody can prove that you're selling anabolica because you're selling homeopathy, which is basically just sugar pills. But you also have to tell all the customers that they still have to do like a really good diet and have to train every day about like 4 hours.
Right, which
And
would absolutely work.
then you also take our homeopathic anabolic.
Right. Yeah, but I
I
don't think
mean,
it's
what you now
exactly the
suggest
same
is
thing.
basically Booga Booga would be totally complementary to, let's say,
Well, you already pay your
um,
doctor, right? So what's the hurt of
paracetamol.
him or her also jumping around you, screaming "booga booga"? I think that would make the whole doctor experience much more healthy.
Yeah, I have to, I have to admit that I kind of would be grossed out by like a surgeon in a surgery jumping around me while I have
Well,
surgery.
that would not be a case of
Oh,
where you
okay.
would
Could
not
you
want to
describe
buy it.
maybe like a simple case? I can't imagine that. Like, let's say I'm going to the proctologist.
Hmm.
How is this going to work?
Well, I would say the proctologist would, first do his actual work, right? Um, Doing the
But did you
endoscopic.
ever went to the proctologist? Basically, your ass up, your ass is in the air, and you're looking down to the floor. So he would have to like do it differently than other doctors.
Right. Well, as a complementary action. So the proctologist in that moment is merely doing the assessment, right, of what is wrong up your behind. So,
Hmm.
but after that, right, once they know that you have
Is he still doing that? And so is he still with, like, you know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no, that part
And
is
then jumping around
over.
me? That would be unpleasant, I guess.
They already know you have coronary cancer, but
Oh, that's sad.
while he is telling you that, he, jumps around screaming "booga booga," and I think that would make you feel better. Shit.
Gotcha.
Oh no, I'm a horrible comedian because I laugh about my own stories quicker than the audience.
But but I really would like the idea of a proctologist. Like you're basically ass up in the air, and he jumps up and down and says "booga booga." Would at least make me laugh. I mean, better than nothing.
Right. Well,
Okay.
laughing is the best medicine, apparently. Or maybe.
No, medicine is the best medicine. I'm sorry. Um,
Susan has a question for you. What's the difference between pseudoscience and end-stage capitalism?
the money making, I would say, if you can't make money out of it, it's not end stage capitalism. But Susan, we can deal you in the homeopathic anabolica, if you
Yeah,
like
I'm
it.
pretty sure that the alternative medicine, not the complementary medicine, okay? So jumping around booga booga is complementary. Homeopathy is alternative medicine, right? Um, that is, I mean, that's only popular because there are financial interests behind it, right? That's that's a thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the guy that actually wrote all this weird water gender stuff actually didn't make money, but I guess he paid to get his stuff published. So he would be a pseudoscience just for the purpose of producing shitty science,
Hmm.
not so much a stage capitalist. So final round.
Final round already,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's your turn.
Okay, so
So I guess I have one last round. So it's 2-1 at the moment.
Yeah. So another gem from the social medias.
Oh gosh, please not please people.
You're already laughing. I won.
No. I'm going to take this serious.
Okay. So, my doctor is shocked that I don't have a period. That's what happens when you eat only fruits and herbs.
Man.
You are healthy as ant. LOL, I told her, as real vegan women don't have periods. Periods are a sign of trouble in the blood, which is known as a curse according to the Bible. When there's trouble in the blood, all caps, the womb man's body begins to purge the toxic waste out through what we call a menstrual cycle. If a womb man bleeds every month, she is full of toxins and and waste bacteria and mucus. When there's no menstrual cycle, then the body of the woman is pure clean. Us true vegan women only eat fruits, veggies, and beans. So our bodies are clean and pure inside and out. We don't bleed because there's no toxic waste to rid of. So we are like cows and horses. Eat veggies and fruits all day and poop it out. What do you think?
All right. I think that makes total sense. I mean, like, you might not understand it because you're not a womb man, but me as I have a deep understanding of man.
Well, you're married to
all over the planet. No, I'm married to a woman, but a womb man is also fine. I think one of the problems that is misunderstood here is that most people who eat meat are not really human.
Oh.
They are reptiloids. And if you don't know how to get rid of them, I especially for this occasion, I checked you through before that. And here's a quiz that you could take, but I already did this for you about reptiloids. And you're not one, I guess.
What?
But there you go. There's a reptiloid quiz, and you can check them. Just there's also a slightly commercial function there. For 25 euros, you could check any of your friends or family if they are reptiloids, and it's a bargain. They tell you, and I guess in this case, what a woman actually didn't. Took into account is that reptiloids obviously lay eggs, as they are reptiloids, and so I guess this is kind of counterproductive to my argument. But I think the woman was the reptiloid. I got it wrong in the first case, and so she doesn't have a period. Makes total sense, doesn't it? Only mammalians have periods, and
I don't even know. I guess because of the placenta, right?
Yeah. So I guess you only have a period if you're a mammalian, but she was a reptiloid, and therefore she laid an egg somewhere and never had a period.
So according to the test you sent me, I'm a reptoid. I just took it.
Oh, did you...
It's my green eyes. Sorry.
You have green eyes?
Yes. Brownish green. So hazel.
Ah, that's not enough.
I'm only half reptoid. I'm half human.
Yeah. Did you come out of an egg? That's the major question.
I don't know. I don't remember that part.
But that was easy. Like, basically, she's a reptiloid. Can't help it.
Okay.
But that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, she's a vegan reptiloid?
No, she's just vegan woman. That's what she says. She doesn't say vegan reptoid.
Yeah, but because she wants to have world dominance. Like, right. Yeah, I don't know how familiar are you with the reptiloid theory, but most of the, like Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama, Merkel, Macron, they're all reptiloids. Trying to, yeah.
It's the globalists.
Yeah.
The New World Order.
And scientists. A lot of scientists.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
It's also easier because they can they want to stay in labs because labs always have the same temperature, and therefore web life is better than.
Yeah, yeah, that makes total sense. Okay. Yeah, I think that was the last one. Did somebody laugh? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, nobody laughed. We're not so funny.
Oh, Susan.
It's not a reptoid.
No.
Okay, so I think this is it, right? So
Yeah.
what a game.
Okay, I press the button. And here's the results. Random number is 3. That would be Robert Cosson.
That's Robert.
So Robert Cosson is the lucky winner of the Science for Progress t-shirt.
Congratulations to Robert Cosson, who won a t-shirt from our merchandise store. I hope you enjoyed our very first live episode. Please let us know what you think. Do you want to see and hear more of those? And as always, I thank all our patrons who support us so generously. Have a good day. Bye bye.